Hi, welcome to this week's learning where you're going to learn how to write a check. Some of you have seen these before and some of you haven't. You'll probably at some point in your life be asked to fill out a check, so here is how you do it. So this right here is the date, so that's pretty obvious. So you would put in if it was the third month, if I was putting in today's date, and then the 31st, and then the year 2026. You can even spell this out. Sometimes it will tell you the format, how to put it in underneath. One thing you need to be aware of is when you're making out a check to somebody, they cannot deposit the check until this date. And I think it's about 6 months after this date, the bank will consider this a stale check. So there's a time frame after this date is put on that it can be deposited. All right, now let's have a look at pay to the order. Here's where you would put the name. So you would put to John Smith is the name of the check that you're going to put it to. Make sure you're putting the proper name that is on the person's banking account. You wouldn't put in nicknames, you wouldn't put in maiden names, you'd put in what their checking account and their bank acknowledges them at. And then here you would put in the amount that the check is for. So if the check is for $900.10, then you would put that there. Now, be aware that if you make out a check and there's not enough funds in your account to cover the check will bounce, at which point there'll be fees associated with that. So make sure when you've written a check and you've put it out in the world that you have enough money in your account to cover that $900 check up until the point it is deposited. So if they want to deposit it in 3 months, in 3 months from now, you still have to have $910 in your account. And then this space here, you're going to write the dollar amount that belongs on the check. So $900.10. And you're writing that all out in words. I got to get rid of that 10 and put 10 cents there. And then what is this for? Well, you might say it is for rent. This is a memo to help you remember what you're issuing all those checks for, because in 3 months, you might want to remember why you gave John Smith $900. And then here, you're going to put your signature. This is often done in cursive, so if you have not practiced your signature, this is going to be something that's requested of you throughout your life. So it's a good time to start practicing your first and last name as your signature. All right, that is how you fill out a check.